I get started, I want to play a short video that highlights some of the speakers, activities, and field trips that we attended this past year for our Young Entrepreneurs Academy. You'll see the guest speakers, the instructor, and a few of the field trips that we attended in this video.
And so what that let me do is really quickly, like in a couple of years, we have tens of thousands of customers around the world because I know how to find them.
So, what is the Young Entrepreneurs Academy, or what we like to call YAY? YAY is a 20-week program for students grades 6 through 12. Students develop business ideas, write business plans, pitch those plans to a panel of investors, obtain real funding, and launch and run a legally registered business. Our main goals for the students are for them to start their own business or social movement. Students don't need to have a business idea upon entering the program, just an innovative and creative mind. There is an opportunity for students to have business partners, so if they want to pair up with another student in the program, they are more than welcome to. Since we will be helping students legally register businesses, there are documents both students will sign to ensure this is a legitimate partnership. We want students to recognize the power of their ideas and develop the skills necessary to turn those ideas into meaningful enterprises. For students to become creative and collaborative thinkers and leaders who can articulate their ideas, to expose students to real-world experiences while at the same time increasing their public speaking skills, their confidence, and their drive to succeed. And lastly, for students to not only be entrepreneurial, but to leave the program with the entrepreneurial mindset. Like I said, YAY is for students grades 6 through 12. Classes run every Tuesday from October to March from 4 to 7 p.m. If we end up having in-person classes, classes will be held at the University of St. Thomas, Minneapolis campus. We will be hosting most of the classes right now virtually in a hybrid type form with Zoom. This allows for bad weather or obviously right now during uncertain times for students to still receive the content. We ended up having classes virtually towards the end of this past year, and it ended up working out really well. We still were able to have guest speakers come in, walk the students through launching their businesses. So the students will still receive the content, create the connections. We just won't be able to host in person as of right now. YAY is divided up into 3 sections: the big idea phase, the pitch phase, and the launch phase. Each phase prepares students in helping create their businesses. The big idea phase allows students to think of a business idea or concept. We have something called power rounds, where students just give out any idea they have, realistic or not, and then we start to narrow down ideas, discussing how realistic they may be, what steps they may take to actually launch this business. And by the end of power rounds, students will have a specific business idea that they will go forward and work on for the rest of the program. The pitch phase prepares and allows students to pitch to a panel of investors for actual funding. The investor panel, which is where students will be pitching their businesses, is a competition, and the winner of that competition actually goes to compete at the national competition against students involved in YAY all over the world. YAY is all over the United States, but they actually have a few programs in China and India that students will compete against. It's usually held in Rochester, New York. This year, it obviously will be virtual. At nationals, students, the winner receives funding for their businesses. There are scholarship opportunities. So it is a pretty big deal. And then lastly, the launch phase walks students through registering their businesses legally with the state of Minnesota. We bring in a notary to talk about business registration and how our notary may be helpful for them in that process. And then we walk the students through legally registering their businesses. Students register their businesses as DBAs, or what it's called is doing business as, which registers their business name with the state of Minnesota to make sure that no one else has the business name they chose. There was a question that's asked, can a student have a business partner who is not in the program because she is in another state? We only allow business partners who are in the program. Depending on the state, there may be a YAY program for them. Since I explained a part of the investor panel, I wanted to show you a short clip of one of our student businesses pitching their business at the investor panel. They ended up getting second place, but still received funding from our investor panel judges. We were able to have a successful virtual investor panel with engagement from community members and business professionals. In this video, you will see that this business ended up being a business partnership, and they worked out great. And they had designated roles and income and everything like that. So, enjoy.
Hola y gracias por invitarnos hoy. My name is Jason Urgiles.
And my name is Clever Nieto.
We are young bilingual entrepreneurs who want to break down language barriers and unite cultural gaps by creating games that unite people.
We come from South Minneapolis, where the majority of the population is comprised of Spanish-speaking people, and our language is rooted in those cultures. Growing up, we realized the struggle many people had trying to learn a new language and how detrimental it was in their lifestyles. So we decided to make this game to help the younger generations not face the same adversary that language might have posed to us or others. So our product is a bilingual card matching game, and I'd like to start off by saying that English is not like the first language of many in the Minneapolis Twin Cities, and this impedes them from communicating effectively. And we seek to help them, similarly to how nonprofits and immersion schools do.
We want to achieve this mission by creating educational language learning tools. The first product we will be launching is a English to Spanish, Spanish to English matching card game. Rather than selling directly to consumers, we plan to partner with nonprofits that are serving new immigrant families after the pandemic ends. We plan to sell online as our main selling point. The card game can be useful to the constituents and their staff who will be serving these people. This can help any language barriers that may be faced.
Here are some of our short-term goals, and we will be doing these by finalizing our logo, the card design, and contacting our manufacturer. We will also try contacting the nonprofits and have them be our sample group prior to releasing the product. These are our long-term goals, and we also plan to develop more languages and put it more onto our focus on our website.
So right now, Jason and Clever are working on creating their card games with everything that was going on. Their production kind of got pushed back, but they received money, like I said, from the investors and were able to set up a business bank account so that all their funds go directly into that bank account. So if you know of a student who is interested in applying or would be a great fit for the program, or you are a student that is interested in applying, here's a little bit more information about the application process. Students must complete an online or paper application. This application can be found on our website at the bottom of this page, or we'll put our website in the chat box for you all. The application includes an essay, I think 3 short answer questions, a school transcript, and a letter of recommendation. This information allows us to better understand the student and learn more just about who they are. Once we receive the application, we do go through an interview process with students and parents. Again, this allows us to understand the student better, but also allows the parents and students to ask us any questions they may have about the program, how it's going to be run, who else may be involved. After all the interviews have been conducted, we then go through the process of selection and admittance. I want to show you just a quick view of what the application looks like. You can see there are 3 short answer questions, an essay, a brief essay, 300 words, and then you upload your transcript and then a letter of recommendation from a teacher, counselor, sports coach. The application deadline for this year is Tuesday, September 15th. Like I mentioned, students can connect with business professionals and get hands-on experience from entrepreneurs all over the Twin Cities. Volunteer opportunity time commitment ranges from 1 time upwards to teaching a section of the class. Each section, the idea, pitch, and launch, is taught by a different instructor who is an entrepreneur of their own. This is roughly an 8-week time commitment every Tuesday during their designated section. The content is provided to the instructor, and then they just walk the students through that specific phase. There's opportunities for professionals to volunteer to become a mentor. So each student business receives a business mentor to help them with their financials, marketing strategy, and pitching skills. We try really hard to pair the mentors with student businesses based on interests or skills. These mentors really help lead the students into that pitch to the investors, and they help them walk through business plans and whatnot. Then there are one-time guest speaking opportunities. These range from accounting, insurance, tax, business law, marketing, e-commerce, and so many more. This is a one-time commitment for about an hour. The volunteer would be asked to offer their knowledge and answer any questions students may have. These guest speaking opportunities are great for the students because the guest speaker comes in during the time that the student is working on that portion of their business plan, and students can hear from an expert in that area, for example, taxes and insurance. Not everyone is well versed in that area, but there are professionals that can offer great information to the students while they're working on their business, that part of their business plan. There are graphic designers and web designer opportunities. These designers work with students to help create a logo, a business website, and any other marketing materials the students may need. The graphic designer comes in on one designated Tuesday night to meet their businesses, and then they just communicate with the students via email for the remainder of the program to help the students with any marketing material or design material they need. There are also a few field trip opportunities. This year may look a little different, but students get a hands-on experience with local businesses and entrepreneurs. Like I said, or like in the earlier video, you saw students at something called REM5 VR, which is a virtual reality business in St. Louis Park. Students got to put on their virtual reality goggles and experience anything and everything that people get to experience there. And then they learned from one of the co-founders how that worked throughout, or how they became an entrepreneur and how they set up this business. There are larger opportunities for companies to get involved, such as being on the investor panel. Like I said, students do get offered real funding. So companies put in money to a pot, and any company that offers funding for the students gets to sit on the investor panel and judge the students on their business plans, business ideas, and pitches. We do have a large volunteer engagement packet that will be sent out with the follow-up email that volunteers can see every engagement opportunities, but students and parents can see all of the different opportunities the students will be able to get their hands on, which is great for them. Before we go into Q&A, I want to show you our Yay Investor Panel winner. Here in this video, he gives a brief explanation of his business and information on how you can find him, which you can see below his website and his Twitter handle. He is currently working on getting into the Dakota County Food Fair and has done quite a few graduation parties and birthday parties. He's preparing to compete at the national competition in late August. This year it will be held virtually, so he will be competing via Zoom for more funding, which is very exciting for him.
Hi, my name is Tasman Goff. I am going to junior year of Apple Valley High School, and I am 17 years old. My business, Skyfluff Cotton Candy, offers a fun, fresh, and custom twist on your favorite treat, cotton candy. Missing cotton candy at the fair this year? We can deliver it to your door. Just go check out my website, skyfluffcottoncandy.com. It's a delightful entertainment idea to change your birthday parties and events into an unforgettable moment. Skyfluff Cotton Candy offers a cotton candy barista service for your in-person events. I've been trained in the art of making cotton candy. Now the taste and smell of fresh cotton candy being made adds a whole new aspect to your run-of-the-mill party.